everyone, and welcome to another webisode of my story where I tell my testimony one web video at a time, 15 minutes long. So, alright guys, where was I? I was preparing for Dave to come home from his tour in the war zone. So, yeah, I was hanging out with a lot of the Army wives, and I really loved the Army Wife show during this time too. But yeah, I do remember the year that he was deployed was an election year. And Dave and I do not see eye to eye in politics at all. He was a conservative and I was a hardcore liberal. Hardcore liberal. And whenever it was election time, this was the year that Obama was running, and I was just so happy. I was canvassing for Obama. I wanted Obama to win, and I mean, I was so into politics. I don't know if I put that in my story because I've left politics since then. My new self is not into politics at all. My old self was so into politics. I mean, I was just like so deep into politics and a hardcore liberal, and I did participate in the election to help Obama get elected. I also participated in the election for Kerry, who ran against Bush, and I participated in the election for Al Gore, who ran against Bush. So, and that one I was 17 years old, so I wasn't able to vote in the Al Gore Bush one. Bush Kerry was my first election I got to vote in, and then here we are with Obama. So I was just so happy, you guys. I remember the day that he got elected. It was so amazing. I cried. I did. I cried. I was home alone. I was back in college because I had started back up to college. I just had the summer off. I took the summer off whenever I had my baby girl, and my third baby girl. And it was pretty cool. I do want to say this about my daughters. Having them is really cool because they're three unique personalities. It's really awesome. But the first two, they have the same mom and the same dad. And my middle daughter, my oldest daughter, all my friends called her the gremlin because they were like, look at her, she's a gremlin. She hated to get her hair done. She would not ever let me do it at all. And I'm a gentler hair doer. And she didn't like it at all, and she didn't like getting dressed. She was my little wild child, I loved her so much. But my middle girl, she loved getting dresses, and I would put her in all these cute dresses, and she would always just automatically pose, and she loved getting her hair done. I got all kinds of little, I always put her in pigtails most of the time, but I got all kinds of little hair. Yeah, I was always putting her hair up, and I decided to put her in modeling because, we had money. I mean, we were making lots of money, so I decided to put her in modeling. I got her a couple outfits and everything, and she went to the first one. She did really well, and they were like, this is really good. And the second one, she just really didn't want to go, and I'm not one of those type of moms that'll push you to do things when you don't want to. I think those moms are good. I don't think that they're bad. I'm not one to tell you how to parent, but me, personally, I can't push whenever they don't want to. So she wanted to quit. I let her quit. She was a toddler, guys. She was 2. And so, but she was just the most beautiful, adorable thing ever. And I so enjoyed, she was like my real life baby doll. I so enjoyed her so much. And yeah, and then I had, my baby, and she was really awesome too. She was the happiest baby of all my babies. She was just so happy to be alive. It was so awesome. And yeah, I told you all about the Christmas where I spent all the money on the kids that I used to nanny. And then it was time to get ready with the FRG. We were getting ready for homecoming, getting ready for, the dads coming home and everything. And we had been away from each other for a year and a half, and he had been in a war zone, and I had been, I don't know, Susie Homemaker zone. I don't know. At home, whenever I was taking care of the kids and I would be like making dinner or doing the dishes, cleaning house, doing those kind of things, I would talk to him in my head, and I don't know, like, like talking to my husband, I would just talk to him in my head. He wasn't actually there, and whenever he got home, it was a shock. I kind of realized that. We did go over that in FRG. I mean, not that type of thing in specific, but we went over how it's going to be weird having them at home. You haven't been used to having them at home, and it's going to be weird. There's going to be an adjustment period. So it was really nice having the FRG. But it had been so long, and I just thought that we would want private time together. So I asked my mom to babysit the kids whenever we were picking him up, and I went with the Army Wives, and I wore a teeny tiny pink mini skirt and a little tube top, and I mean, I was looking good that night. I was, but and the boys got home. Oh gosh, I just, trigger warning, okay? I'm gonna talk about rated X stuff, and I'm gonna put it on the video, trigger warning, but this is hard. This is hard to discuss. I don't want y'all to think wrong about people, any people in my stories, any of them. I have talked to Dave. I've got his permission to share this. He's like, it's a part of the story. And he's like, just tell the truth with it. And I'm like, okay, but this part, it really sucks because we go and, the soldiers do this little fancy thing, and then you get to go pick out your soldier and you take him home. They go grab their stuff off the bus. I mean, there's like a lot of time waiting around. You're in a gym and you're waiting forever, and then they come in, they do these little formation things, and then you can go get your soldier. If you can find him, they all look the same. I found him, and I got him, and we went straight home, and I walk in the door, and he just pretty much jumps on me, and he like takes his pants down, jumps on me, and starts hitting it from behind on the stairs, and I'm just like, whoa, I'm trying to walk up the stairs, I'm like trying to figure this out, and I don't know, and we go into the kitchen, because the stairs lead up to the kitchen, and he's just like pounding away like crazy on me, and he just keeps going and going and going, and I remember thinking that it was painful, but before I was with Dave, I didn't really think that sex felt good. I thought all sex was painful because most sex was painful, especially with Zach. And I had learned to sing a song in my head. I would always sing, "Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. Sometimes love don't feel like it should. You make it hurt so good." And that song just helps me deal with the pain of it all. It was really painful, and we go to bed, and the next morning I wake up, and I was in so much pain. So much pain. I like to go back and just hug myself, and tell her, I love you. You didn't know. And I could have told Dave to stop. I didn't know that I could have, because if I would have told Zach to stop, I would have got punched, I could have told him to stop, though, and I didn't. And I was in a lot of pain, and I had to go to the gynecologist, and basically the gynecologist said he would like to punch the guy that did this, and that this basically what had happened to me was the result of rough sex with no lube, and it's because he jumped on me so fast, and I didn't know exactly how our female bodies work. I don't know if guys know this, but if you are forcefully having sex with girls, you're not having the best sex that you can have with them. There's a whole nother level. There's a whole nother level, I promise you. But she has to be able to open up. She's got to be safe. But anyway, I didn't know that back then. And, yeah, I had gotten, basically, they called it bacteria vaginosis. He gave me pain pills and antibiotics and basically told me no sex for at least a month. If not 6 weeks. 4 to 6 weeks. So I went back home and I told Dave, and Dave broke. I don't know what happened, but he like broke. Basically, he like fell at my knees. It was like kissing my feet basically, and like telling me, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, and he just wanted to hold me, and it took Dave longer than me to want to get intimate with me again. It took him longer. He didn't want to do that to me, guys, but it happened, and it happened because it was fast, and I should have, whenever it was hurting me, I should have stopped. He would have been fine with that. I've since learned that about Dave, that I don't know if you girls know this, but just because you've started the act doesn't mean you have to complete it. You can stop it. You can say it's uncomfortable, something's wrong. And if you're with a good guy, they can stop. I know they can. I've seen it. Zach told me that wasn't possible. That it's not possible to stop. But it is. It is possible to stop. So, I don't know. It was a tough beginning for me and Dave, but then it was really sweet. It was nice having him home. He was really sweet back then. I don't know. He did, he had to work a whole lot more because, he's in the army, whatever. He's a medic, That was a tough time for me. Emotionally processing it all too was tough. I think I try to emotionally bypass instead of process, which is not good. I think, maybe we all do, but I'm not going to say what I think about everyone, but anyway. But yeah, Dave came home, and there was an adjustment period for me and for him. It was, it was tough. And Zach was around, and Zach had me served with papers to go to custody court for the kids. He was suing for custody, and I got served, and I was just breaking down. I was like, I gotta have my babies, and I had been putting back so much money a month, and some months I put back more, but I was putting back a lot of money every month so that Dave and I could get ourselves a house. Because Dave, his plans were not to stay in the military. He was going to finish out. He had just done a 4-year term. He was going to finish his second 4-year term and then get out. And so I was thinking we would buy a house. And he liked that idea. And so we had saved up a lot of money for a house down payment. And I asked Dave if I could use half of it for a lawyer. And of course, Dave said yes, he's like, yes, of course, because I want my babies. So, custody court's coming, and we'll talk about that in the upcoming videos. But for this one, that's all I got, guys. I thank you guys so much for watching. I know I was talking about really intense subject in this one. Rated X, I feel like I just breezed over it and didn't give it the attention it deserves, but there's not much attention that you can give in a small little 15-minute webisode. So, I don't know. It happened and we got through it together. And to me, that makes all the difference. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. And until the next one, I pray that you are blessed with lots and lots of love. That's all she got.